In front of you is Sergeant Freitas, an instructor for ARMIC and MGLC at Life Fighter School. He's going to go over clearing, disassembling, reassembling, and the function check of the 240. To clear the weapon, point the weapon in a safe direction, ensure the safety is on fire before moving the bolt or operating rod assembly. Pull and hold with palm up, cocking handle with right hand to the rear, ensuring the bolt is completely to the rear. While holding the cocking handle to the rear, place the safety on safe. Release the cocking handle assembly and to the fully forward and lock position. Push in feed cover latches, look in a safe direction, raise feed cover, and conduct a 4-point safety check for brass, links, and ammunition. Lower the feed tray and close the feed cover, making sure it locks shut. Pull and hold with palm up the cocking handle assembly with the right hand to the rear. While holding the cocking handle to the rear, place the safety to fire. While fully depressing the trigger, ease the bolt forward to close and lock. Release the trigger. Attempt to place the weapon on safe. Weapon should not move to safe. Sergeant Freitas will now disassemble the 240. Starting at the buttstock, he will remove the buttstock. Next, he'll remove the buffer spring. The bolt comes out with the buffer spring. Make sure you separate these two. Sergeant Freitas will remove the trigger assembly. The only authorized tool while disassembling a 240 is the buttstock assembly. He will then remove the feed tray cover and feed tray. We'll then remove the barrel, removing the heat shield from the barrel. The weapon is now disassembled into its 8 major groups: the buttstock and buffer assembly, the bolt and operating rod assembly, drive spring assembly, trigger housing assembly, barrel assembly with heat shield removed, cover assembly, feed tray, and receiver assembly. Sergeant Freitas will now reassemble the 240 by placing the barrel on the weapon system, placing the heat shield back on, placing the feed tray in position, putting the feed tray cover in place, and putting the pin back in. Next, Sergeant Freitas will insert the bolt, ensuring the bolt stays in the open position while trying to assemble. You'll then place the spring back in place. Place the buttstock assembly back on the weapon. And then replacing the trigger guard. Sergeant Freitas will now demonstrate the functions check for this weapon system. To perform function check, ensure the safety is on fire before moving the bolt or operating rod assembly. Pull and hold with palm up, cocking handle to the rear, ensuring the bolt locks completely to the rear. While holding handle to the rear, place on safe and depress the trigger. Weapon should not fire. While holding cocking handle to the rear, place the weapon on fire, depress the trigger, ease the bolt forward into place, and release trigger. Attempt to place the weapon on safe. Safety should be unable to move to safe. This concludes Sergeant Freitas' block of instruction.